You have probably read the book or seen the movie about Walter Mitty. In case you haven't, here's the gist of it. Walter is an ordinary guy who often daydreams about being or doing something heroic. Maybe today he's an astronaut, tomorrow he's a war hero, or whatever you might imagine. This can also happen not just with people. Have you ever seen a little dog that thinks he's a big dog? Sure you have. Our RV-12 thinks it's a Warbird. It daydreams about being a fighter jet. I wonder why. Fighter jets have these big open canopies, like the one on this F-16. You want that so that your field of view is unobstructed during a dogfight. This dates back to World War II, when the P-51 was redesigned for the D model to have a bubble canopy. The tradition lives on in this F-35 shown here, our latest frontline fighter jet. Okay, here's the RV-12 showing off its canopy too. The F-35 is unusual among jets since the canopy tilts forward for access. Oh, well looky here, little RV-12. Speaking of the legendary P-51, here's a cockpit view. Do you think they had a wimpy little steering wheel in there? Nope, they had a stick. F-15? You guessed it, a stick. F-18? A man-sized stick with buttons to control the armament and stuff. Oh, and here's my wife Gail in an F-4. What's that she's holding? Oh, it's a stick. Does the RV-12 have a tiny little yoke? Hell no. It has a stick with buttons on it. What is that hanging under the wing? Oh, look, that's my GoPro camera. Sometimes I'm mounted under there to get outside shots. But secretly, our RV-12 imagines it to be external stores. Maybe drop tanks like these. Or maybe a Sidewinder missile. I know, but let the plane have its daydreams. No fighting aircraft is complete without firepower. Look at this A-10 with its nose-mounted Gatling gun. That gun is too big to be located in the wing, but its position in the nose gives an advantage too. It is lined up with the pilot's vision for more accurate shots. If you look back again to World War II, this was done with the P-39 Air Cobra. The gun fired right through the propeller hub, again in line with the pilot's line-of-sight vision. Oh my gosh, here's the RV-12 again. Closer examination of the propeller hub shows what is that? That looks like the caliber of a BB. This is the stuff daydreams are made of. If you know airplanes, then you know Chuck Yeager. He's the first to break the sound barrier and live to tell about it. You probably know the story of the X-1 and how the controls froze approaching Mach 1. Ultimately, they determined that a shock wave formed over the tail, making the elevator ineffective. The solution was to replace the traditional horizontal stabilizer and elevator combination with an all-flying tail or stabilator. The RV-12 has such a stabilator, which is reassuring to know that if I ever approach Mach 1, I can still control the plane. Here, an F-16 flexes its stabilator. Here, the RV-12 says, "Hey, me too." By the way, while we're at it, what Mach number can the RV-12 do? Well, the calculation of Mach 1 is not this simple, but for our purposes, at altitudes the RV-12 flies at, let's call Mach 1 at 760 miles per hour. With a speed of 135 miles per hour, the RV-12 would be doing 0.18 Mach. Not 1.8, 0.18. Sorry, little plane, but you can always daydream. I hope you enjoyed our little flight of fancy, and if so, subscribe to see what we do next.